Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing out there this evening? Hope you're all doing well. I hope you all can hear me tonight. Okay. Let's get started. Tonight's topic, sugar and sweets. Welcome this evening. I hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday night. We're going to dive right into this, talking about all things sugars and sweets. So, I'm sure a lot of you already know, but let's just quick talk about our nutrition program. We are powered by Healthy Steps Nutrition, and at Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition should not be complicated. This is why we focus on a simple, habit based approach to help you reach your goals one step at a time. Healthy Steps Nutrition has helped over 40,000 people all around the world take control of their health. Here are just some of the incredible success stories. We know that while this is simple, it is far from easy. But just like these successful people, you will find your successes one step at a time. So let's get into sugar, sweets, the fun stuff. Many studies show that a high consumption of sugar is associated with inflammation and many chronic diseases. All cells in our body, including cancer cells, need sugar or glucose for energy. Some diseases that are directly linked to sugar consumption include diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. Obesity is also strongly correlated with sugar consumption and can account for at least 13 types of cancer, including breast, liver, and colon cancer. Did you know that the average American eats or drinks over 500 calories of sugar in a day? That is about 36 teaspoons. In a given year, Americans are consuming over 150 pounds of sugar. According to the USDA, in 1822, the average American ate in 5 days the amount of sugar found in one of today's 12-ounce sodas. Now we eat that much every 7 hours. It makes sense that the prevalence of obesity in 2017 to 2018 was 42.4% for adults and 19.3% in children and adolescents. It is also clear why we are still seeing these numbers increase yearly. The risk factors associated with a high consumption of sugar may have shocked you, or maybe it was the amount of sugar that made your jaw drop. You may be wondering, how in the world? Think about the last time you had a sweet treat that turned into a few more innocent handfuls, or that one cookie that all of a sudden turned into a sleeve of cookies. We have all been there. In fact, I've helped many of my nutrition clients navigate the sugar in their life in a mindful way. There becomes this negative feedback loop of restricting sweet foods to having just one, feeling guilty, and then over-consuming or going overboard. We have all been there, but why do we struggle so much to stay mindful? Have you ever heard that sugar is addictive? Addiction is a craving for a specific substance that involves continuous use, which becomes hazardous to your well being, according to the FDA. Let me put it in these terms. A study that took place at the University of Minnesota found that sugary foods cause a similar effect on our brain chemicals when compared to those on drugs. This is where the phrase, sugar is more addicting than drugs, comes from. So now we know how much the average person is consuming. Why is it so easy for us to consume that amount when it's considered addictive and the negative effects it has on our health? You may be wondering, how much is 34 teaspoons? Is that a lot? The American Heart Association recommends no more than 24 grams of added sugar for women and 36 grams for men each day, which equates to about 6 and 9 teaspoons of sugar, respectively. So the average American is consuming nearly 6 times the recommended limit for sugar in a given day. But we aren't likely to sit around and eat sugar cubes all day. So, how exactly are we consuming all of this sugar? Sugar can be sneaky. Sometimes sugar can hide in different foods, different types of food, without us being aware. We're going to talk about the three most common foods with hidden sugars. Convenience breakfast foods, such as oatmeal packets, Pop Tarts, yogurt, cereal. Let's break it down. Single serve oatmeal packets contain 11 to 15 grams of sugar per packet, and the sugar is the second ingredient. Pop Tarts. Pop Tarts in one package of two pastries contain 30 grams of sugar. 29 of those 30 grams are added sugars. Trix cotton candy yogurt, 14 grams of sugar per serving. And then a lot of our popular breakfast cereals have an average of 10 grams of sugar per 3/4 of a cup. Number 2, easy grab and go snacks. Think about those pantry foods: trail mix, granola bars, packaged pastries, and even protein bars. Trail mix, that is often marketed as heart healthy snack, contains 10 grams of sugar. Packaged pastries like Little Debbie Swiss rolls contain 27 grams of sugar for one package. A typical granola bar, like a Nutri-Grain cereal bar, contains 12 grams of sugar, and that Quaker chewy dipped chocolate chip granola bar in our kids' lunch has 13 grams. Excuse me. Lastly, in this category of grab snacks, protein bars. Not all protein bars are as healthy as you may think. Some bars have 19.5 grams of sugar, which is more than a Krispy Kreme donut, which comes in at 12.6 grams of sugar. Number 3, beverages. Beverages are a big topic of conversation when discussing the obesity epidemic. Here are a few shocking sugar-packed beverages. Nesquik fat-free chocolate milk has 54 grams of sugar. Minute Maid lemonade, roughly 30 grams of sugar. Snapple iced tea has 46 to 50 grams of sugar, depending on the flavor. 12 ounces of Coca-Cola has 39 grams of sugar. And flavored creamers for our coffees have about 6 grams of sugar per tablespoon, which can add up very quickly if you just pour it into your coffee or if you're having more than one cup of coffee per day. Think about the beverages, quick snacks, and breakfasts you and your family have had in the last week. Let's take a moment to breathe after that. Sugar is truly hidden everywhere. So, what can we do? How can we decrease our sugar consumption to improve our health? Know what's in your food. And you can do this by learning how to read a nutrition facts label. The nutrition facts label make it very easy to identify how much sugar is natural and how much sugar is added to a packaged food. Make sure you read the nutrition facts and ingredients label to know exactly what you are putting in your body. Once you start looking, you will be surprised. Remember, when looking at the ingredients label, the first thing listed is the most abundant over any other ingredient in that food product. First, we want to check out the serving information found at the top. For single-serve bottles, cans, and packaged snacks, odds are the label will be for the entire beverage or food in hand. However, if you are getting it from a larger container, it will be helpful to understand the serving size. To find the sugars, we need to look under the total carbohydrate section, where you will usually find dietary fiber, total sugars, and added sugars. Reminder: added sugars are sugars added into a food or beverage, usually for taste and or for shelf life. To search further, you can bring your eyes down to the ingredient list. There are estimated to now be around 60 different names for sugars on food labels. So look for things that say sugar, end in OSE, like fructose, or have syrup in their name. So now that we're aware of the sneaky sugar and how to find them, let's dive into 3 tips to enjoy sweet treats mindfully. Number one, use sugar alternatives. There are many different names for sugar, as we discussed, and while some are marketing as healthier, they all contain glucose, which causes an inflammatory response in the body. For instance, honey, maple syrup, and agave all contain grams of sugar. Here are three sugar substitutes to use in the kitchen that will sweeten up your foods without providing excess sugar. Cinnamon. Cinnamon hits the same taste buds without adding any grams of sugar. Add to your protein pancakes, muffins, or even in your coffee. Unsweetened shredded coconut is great to add to your energy balls or sprinkle in your oatmeal. And this will also add a little bit of healthy fat. Fruit puree is great for baking. No sugar added purees in baking will give you that sweet taste and also helps to moisten the baked good. Tip number 2, never eat carbs alone. When we eat meals and snacks that are not balanced with a protein, a carb, and a fat, we are more likely to spike up our blood sugar. When we pair protein and fat with our carb or sugar sources, we will feel fuller for longer, and the slower digestion process of fat and protein allows for better glucose management. Instead of eating that packaged oatmeal alone, which we know is packed with sugar, find a lower sugar option and consider adding a hard boiled egg on the side, protein powder with a little peanut butter in the oatmeal, or even Greek yogurt. Lastly, tip number 3 is to stay mindful with portion sizes. We are allowed and should incorporate our favorite sweet treats, but we should do so in a mindful portion. Find that balanced mindset that allows you to enjoy the cookie, but then move on instead of eating the entire sleeve. This takes time and practice, but here are a few things you can do to help you stay mindful. Eat balanced meals throughout the day to keep you from ever feeling too hungry. Portion out the snack instead of eating right out of the container or package. Take time to enjoy the treat by putting your fork or spoon down between bites. For more great information on how the sugar we consume affects our overall health and wellness, be sure to tune in to the Nutrition Made Simple podcast, episode number 15, with Nicole and Josh Clemente, where they talk about continuous glucose monitoring and fighting chronic disease with leveled health. At this point, I hope you have learned a few things about sneaky sugar and how to stay more mindful. But you may also be wondering about some more tips that have helped those 40,000 people reach their health and wellness goals. With all of the misinformation out there, we know this can feel overwhelming. To start building your foundation, here are the HSN principles that have helped so many people take control of their health, one habit at a time. Principle number 1, add more whole foods into your diet. Start choosing whole food options and less processed foods packed with sodium, fat, and sugar. A simple way to start this is by reshaping your plate with the plate method. Half of your plate should be filled with non starchy veggies, a fourth of your plate filled with lean proteins, a fourth of your plate filled with starchy carbs, and a side of mindful, healthy fats. Principle number 2, focus on balance protein, carbs, and fat. When we say balance, we mean does every meal and snack you consume throughout the day contain a carb, a protein, and a fat? Pairing each meal and snack with all three of these macronutrients will help you feel fuller for longer. Number 3, limit the added sugar. Not a surprise at this point in this presentation. Remember that the American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 for men. Now you're more aware of where you will find these sugars and how to identify if it's present in what you're eating. So let's talk about some of the questions that I get pretty consistently. What should I eat around my workouts? Fueling around your workouts to gain muscle, lose fat, increase energy, or really any health and fitness goal is important. Aim to have healthy carbs and protein before and after your workout. If you don't put gas in your car, you can't expect it to get anywhere. Don't run your body on E. My favorite pre-workout fuel is an applesauce pouch and an HSN egg muffin. My favorite post-workout fuel is non-fat Greek yogurt with a handful of blueberries mixed in. Next question. I don't love veggies. What should I do? I've heard this so many times, and maybe this is something that you can relate to as well. But as always, I challenge you by saying, what if you just haven't found the way you like them? Maybe try roasting your veggies for a nice crunch rather than mushy veggies, adding some good seasoning for a flavor you can be excited for, or finding ways to sneak them into recipes or smoothies is an easy way to get more veggies in your day. Where should I start? Great question. I want you to start with one thing at a time. Maybe you already have something in mind, or maybe it's something that we talked about today. But the best and fastest way to reach your goals is to work one on one with a nutrition coach to build an individualized plan just for you. Here at Rushmore CrossFit, we focus on a habit based approach to create an individualized plan just for you. We work together utilizing our many tools and resources to build your nutrition foundation to create a sustainable plan. Along with our tools and resources, we know how important support and accountability is when it comes to our long-term goals, which is why we will be there to help guide you and tweak the plan every step of the way. If you're looking to hear more about how this program can change your life, tune into the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. If you're interested or if you have questions, please shoot us an email at nutrition@rushmorecrossfit.com. We'll get you set up for a consultation with one of our nutrition coaches. We'd be happy to chat with you, pop in the office, shoot us a message, however you want to get a hold of us. Also, a reminder, we have our fall Kickstart Challenge coming up on October 2nd is the kickoff date of that. It is not too late to get signed up for that. If you're still interested in that, shoot us an email or the link is in your weekly email or can be found in SugarWatt as well. I hope you all learned something this evening and have found a little bit more out about sugar and all the ways that it can sneak into your diet. Um, if you have any questions, please remember, shoot me an email, nutrition@rushmorecrossfit.com. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll see you at the gym. Goodbye.